Alright. Hello. Greetings, Twitch viewer, YouTube viewer, Spotify listener, probably in the future. Welcome to the 6th episode of What the Fridge podcast. I have here with me Caleb, Reuben, and what's the word?
Lachlan.
A returning guest, Lachlan. How are you all doing today, this evening?
Good.
We're doing good.
Lachlan?
I'm pretty bored, but fine, I guess.
We
Oh,
are
yeah.
doing good.
Yes, we are all doing good, except for Lachlan, who's a bit depressed. But not to be soon, hopefully.
I need to take my normal pills. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, take your flippin' normal pills. Man, can't believe you
I
didn't
don't
take them
take
already.
pills. Am I right? Taking pills?
Shut up, Caleb. We all know you take steroids.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's why he's so strong.
Yeah, that's true. But the fact is...
Also, why he's built like a pencil.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep,
That's true.
that's why I have massive muscles that
Yeah.
you can't see.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Totally.
Totally. Alright. So, as always, I'll start us off with our first topic of the day. So, I'm going to be talking about why I believe Subway is the best fast food chain, and, more specifically, why the Pork Riblet is their best sub.
And why
Thoughts?
Sam has the wrong opinion.
Oh, controversial. Or maybe not,
Ooh.
actually. But controversial to
Well,
me,
like-
because I don't believe you.
See,
Subway
I've only been to Subway about, twice? 3
I
times?
rarely ever eat at Subway. I think the only time I've actually eaten Subway were 2 times. One was in the US and one was in Wellington.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it was, in Hamilton and for Aladdin, when we ran
Yes,
over,
yes.
Sam.
Yes, we did do
Yeah.
that. We talked about that in the last podcast, actually, kind of.
Oh, there you go.
If you watched the last podcast, you'll know that we talked about it.
Go and watch
I
that now.
definitely did.
Oh, fantastic. Alright. So, Ruben, why do you believe I'm wrong?
Because you are. Because
Yes.
meatball subs are the best subs, without a doubt.
No. I had a bit of a
Like,
debate
probably...
on
Oh,
this.
no, you go.
I had a bit of a debate about this on the other Discord server. And I definitely won it, the debate.
You said like 2 lines.
I didn't! Go and read the conversation, it's in politics, I think.
It's in
For some
politics.
reason. It's in politics.
This is very important. Otherwise, how would New Zealand run without Subway?
Yeah.
No,
it wouldn't
that's true.
function.
Yes.
I think that the meatball one, judging from what I have done at Subway, I think it's the cheapest one.
I think it is.
To be
It
perfectly honest, I
It
prefer.
is one of the cheapest.
Yeah, I do prefer Burger King. If I am honest, I know that
I agree.
that's quite controversial for a few people.
Yeah.
Being like Burger King's trash, but come on, it's cheap
Yeah.
and
One thing
feels like good food,
Yeah,
tasty food.
Yeah, one thing I will speak to that is the only reason I put Subway above Burger King is because at Subway you get your food basically straight away. That's all.
True.
That is true, and it's much more customizable, I guess,
Yes,
as well.
yes, that's true.
But
He loves
generally,
character
Subway
customization.
is, of course, subs, which means it's kind of basic in terms of types of food. Like,
That
it's a
is-
sandwich.
Yeah.
They do pizza.
It's like
They do
wraps.
salads. They do salads.
They do wraps,
The salads are also
and
basic.
That's true.
subs. Yeah, they're all pretty basic. We
Yeah.
should have
The
gotten Logan's
basics are
opinion on
food.
this.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
that's
need-
true
we
because
need
he
Logan.
works at Subway, doesn't he?
We should get a
Yes.
special guest,
We
Subway
need to get him on the
employee.
podcast sometime. I don't think he's been on one yet.
We should get all of the friend group on the podcast at one stage. I think that'd be great.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe for our 10th episode, we'll get everyone
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
Isn't 12th the season finale, though?
12.
So, yeah,
Oh, yeah, we'll
when
do
we
it
go
on the
into 12th,
season 1 finale. That's a good idea.
Just
we have
a
a
quick
big
point to
finale
all of our
episode.
listeners. Every 10 episodes, we do a face reveal
No,
for one of the
what is
members.
that? What a scam.
Ooh.
No, we do it every 12 episodes
Oh,
using
no.
base 12, Reuben.
Oh, fine.
Yes, clocks, Reuben,
That's
clocks.
69. We should do it on the
Oh.
69th episode. Come on, it'll be nice.
Ew.
Anyway,
Maybe,
back to the topic.
I mean, we could do something special for the episode, but I'll have to think of something first. So anyway, back to Subway. The reason I put pork riblet ahead of meatball subs is because pork riblet is way easier to eat, and you can't have a meatball with flatbread.
True.
Yeah, I prefer having a good burger to a good sub, if I'm honest.
Okay, that's neither here nor there, is it, Lachlan?
I know.
We're talking about Subway.
I know. But like if they maybe had like burgers at Subway, I don't know. Just something like
it's not
all they have
Subway.
at Subway is like salads, subs, and wraps, and that's about it.
Yes,
There's
okay.
like nothing else.
If they
There's
did
cookies.
have burgers at Subway, would you order them?
No, that's not what I go to Subway for.
Exactly.
Depends on the
If I want a
price.
burger, I'll just go to Burger King.
I'm a cheapskate. I'd like cheap food.
That's true.
It's
I like
like
cheap
when
food as well, which is why I
McDonald's-
like the pork riblet.
It's like when McDonald's tries to sell like KFC type food, like chicken and drumsticks and stuff. You wouldn't go to McDonald's for that, would you? If you were there,
No.
you might get it.
I don't go to
But it
McDonald's
wouldn't be a
for.
wise business choice.
I
Like
don't
you
go
go
to
for
McDonald's
McDonald's,
for tacos. I don't go to Subway for burgers.
you don't go to Taco Bell for chicken.
Yeah, true. You don't. Yeah, it's fast
So-
food is a
side rant
specialized
for-
industry. Each chain has a
Side rant
special
for a
thing that it's good
second.
at.
Just like, why is sushi so expensive? Like, compared to
That is a
all
good
other
point.
sorts of fast
Because you
food.
basically get
It's
no
like-
food.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
like maybe 8 bits of sushi for
$10.
like 10 bucks.
8 if you're
and
lucky.
that's
Yeah,
You're
That's
paying for the
ridiculous,
service.
like-
You're
I
not
mean,
paying
sushi's
for the
great. I
food,
like
you're paying for the
sushi.
service of it.
But I only like sushi when I'm not paying for it. That's all I'll say
Yeah.
to that.
Facts.
Plus, I don't
Also-
eat, buy fish anymore, personally, but that's just a choice for me. But, like, I like sushi, and I'll eat fish sushi. It's just, I won't buy fish sushi or go out of my way to buy fish sushi.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, people think teriyaki chicken is the best in sushi, but no, crispy chicken's better. Just my opinion. So back to the
Chicken is good.
So back to the meatball. The reason I don't like the meatball is because the meatballs at Subway are really bland, unless you have sauces with them. But the problem is meatball doesn't go with many sauces.
Nah, come on. It's really good. I like it. I've only had it a couple of times, but from my opinion, I do like the meatball. No,
They should just do
meatball
meatball
one.
subs without the sauce, and just leave
Well,
like all
that'd be terrible.
the juice. No, like all of the meatball juice. They should like marinate it in the juice.
Well,
It's
I mean, they could do that, but they
meatballs
don't
without
because they're
sauce.
spastic and they don't know how to make a good meatball. That's all I'll say to that. They can't make a good
Yes.
meatball.
Like, would you rather have a foot long, or would you rather have like a good quality burger with
Footlong.
bunch of chips and a drink?
Oh, good quality burger. Any day. I'd
Yeah.
take Burger Fuel over Subway any day. But for the
Exactly.
price, Subway. For the price, you get more. You get more
Mhm.
food for cheaper.
I guess like the quality of Subway is much better than the cardboard they serve at McDonald's.
Yes, I'm never going to McDonald's.
But
It's overpriced and it's
yeah,
just.
I mean frozen Coke,
I just don't like it.
that's fine.
Yeah, frozen.
$1 for a frozen Coke
I'll
is
take
good.
a frozen Coke any day.
But like, you wouldn't really want to get a cheeseburger there because they are
Yeah,
just.
cheeseburgers are stanky, man.
I always put like extra
one thing
mustard,
about
pickles,
McDonald's-
onions, and
Oh.
things.
Don't put extra mustard. People say pickles are the worst bit
I
of the
love
McDonald's
mustard.
cheeseburger, but
Mustard's amazing,
nah,
man.
mustard is the worst bit of the
Disgusting.
cheeseburger. Not pickles. As
I
many people
put
could have
mustard on my pizza. It's so good,
Oh,
man. I
gross.
love it.
Disgusting.
And it's the cheesiness. It's
You like-
good.
No, it really doesn't.
Oh
You're
my
like the sort of
gosh.
person that would have tomato sauce with chicken. It doesn't work.
On the odd occasion. Depends on
Oh,
what
are
the
you
context of the chicken
joking?
is.
Mm,
If it's
That
a
is
roast, no
disgusting.
way in a million years that that's going anywhere near my chicken. But
You
like,
don't put it on any
it
chicken.
depends.
Don't give
Like
me
barbecued chicken.
it already has barbecue sauce on it. In most circumstances. If it's flavored, you don't need sauce to give it the extra flavor. You see what I'm saying?
One thing about McDonald's that like keeps me going is it feels so fake, and you don't get that fake feeling with anything else. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
that one
true.
thing.
Even Burger
It
King,
Yes.
literally feels so fake.
which is like the cheapest you can get, it actually feels like proper food.
One of the best burgers I've ever had was at Whangarei Aero Club on like Sundays. We flew up there one time and they had like a burger, and the burger was just honestly so good. But you could look at the ingredients; they were like the cheapest ingredients out of like the supermarket. But then the lady was just so good at making the burgers; like they were so good. It's like you can do a lot with cheap ingredients, but
Oh
the
yeah,
fast food,
Yeah.
it's all about speed. But then again, it didn't take that long to like
yeah,
serve that person.
yeah.
It's just
I remember one time when I was on a road trip with my youth group. We stopped at a supermarket. I think it was in New World. Not that that's that important. And so our youth pastor gave us each a $2 coin and told us to buy lunch for everyone with all of our $2 coins, which was
mm,
definitely something. And it wasn't actually a bad lunch. We just had like sliders, like with cheese, lettuce, you know, ham, basic stuff. But it was really nice. And it
yeah.
was that was
Like,
definitely. It just shows you can do so much, even if
it's not hard to make good food on a small budget. You
yes.
just need to think slightly more creatively sometimes, but like typically it's pretty easy to do.
Yes, case in point, Subway, which is why I believe it's the best fast food chain because you get meat, you get your vegetables, and you get your carbs, your
Vegetables?
bread. You get that all in one $10 bit. It's really
Same argument could be made for burgers, but
yeah, but it's
again,
not for cheap Burger King burgers. The more expensive ones maybe, but if you're getting an expensive
yeah.
burger, I'd rather get a sub from Subway. Perfectly
My
circular.
favorite burger from a fast food restaurant is like the New Yorker Angus beef one from Burger King, and it's like about the same price as a Burger Fuel burger, but
Mhm.
it is like my favorite burger ever.
What about
It's
Burger
just so
Fuel?
good.
Burger
Burger
Fuel,
Fuel's good.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd say Burger Fuel is definitely better than Subway, but it's not a Burger Fuel isn't a
Yeah.
fast food place.
Well, it is, but it's like
No, not really.
well,
It's
like
actually like
it's
proper.
not. It's not a restaurant.
Well,
It's more
it
of like
is
a
kind of.
takeaways.
Yeah, it's in that middle ground between fast food and restaurant. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yes,
because it's
it's
like
like a diner. It's a
yeah,
diner.
yes, I would say that.
My family get it way too often.
So I think we'll call that topic there, unless
yeah.
anyone
Yep.
wants to retort to my claim that Pork Riblet is the best sub.
Unresolved.
I will not report it. I still retort it. I still
Yeah.
disagree with you, but
Okay.
everyone can have their own opinions here.
I
Okay.
don't remember
Well.
any
Yes.
subs from
Okay.
Subway, so I am uneducated
Okay. All I'll
on the
say.
Same. I kind of only been
All
a
I'll
couple of
say is I provide a challenge to you, Reuben. If okay, I get a pork riblet and a
Yeah,
meatball
how am I
sub,
supposed
6
to do
inch.
that? How am I supposed to
Okay.
do that in the middle of a lockdown?
Have them both with exactly the same amount of salads, exactly the same amount of sauce, and everything, and tell me which one is easier to
Go
eat.
to Logan.
That's
Go to
all I'll
Logan
say.
and
Yeah,
pull
ask
up a
Logan.
roller.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, I shall get
Yeah.
it when lockdown has
That's my challenge
ended.
to you. Anyway, next topic. Let's go. Who's gonna take it?
I can do the next topic, I guess.
Awesome. Go for it. I always like your topics, Lachlan. What have you got for us?
So my topic, I don't know if I don't think we've done this before,
Mhm.
but essentially, why is it that like the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s are considered to be like the best time for music within kind of all time. Like it seems that that's a certain era. Well, it starts in the 60s with like Beatles and some Elvis and some early stuff like the Animals and things like that. But then when you get to the 70s, you get Pink Floyd, you get David Bowie, you get Queen, and all these super iconic bands. And then in the 80s, you just got Bon Jovi, you've got Billy Joel, you've got all of these super iconic artists that came out of this specific era. But now it's like 90s musics, early 2000s musics, 2010s, they're really kind of nowhere near the same standard as those incredible hits from all of those 30 years. It's kind of like, why is that? Why is modern music nowhere near held up to the same standard as any of those sorts of classics?
I honestly don't know. I feel what I will say before we dive into this is I think we have sort of touched on this topic before, but I don't think we've talked about it like this in this way. So I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give my 2 cents. Anyone who's listened to any of the previous podcasts would probably have picked up the fact that I'm not a huge fan of modern music. And anyone who knows me well knows that. You all know
Wait,
that.
you don't like modern music? What?
Did you seriously not know that?
I knew that.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
To the
That
sarcastic
was like the
being-
most obvious
voice.
sarcastic voice
I was
I could
being
do.
sarcastic.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
sure.
stole your face. Had to get in there Stiff movie reference there. Anyway,
Well, I did this. So now that Sam can't speak, I'm kidding. I'll fix
excuse me?
it. I server muted you.
Oh no! What will the listeners ever think? Go. What are you,
Reuben is a
stop.
bad admin.
Stop server muting people. Anyway.
Oh
the
boy,
reason-
here I go server muting again.
Man. Reuben, be a better admin.
Okay, let us continue the
Or you'll
podcast.
be banned from What the Fridge for a couple of episodes. I won't say how many. Alright. The reason I think that modern music is bad is because it's fake.
Hmm.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that
It just sounds
sentiment.
synthesized and fake, and it's rubbish.
Yeah, well, most of the things, like, example, there is this YouTuber that you might not know called Dream, and he makes songs now.
Oh yeah,
Does he
that's
They're
actually?
terrible.
Does he actually make
Yeah.
songs?
Yeah. He's
What,
made
that's so
about
cool.
3 now,
Sorry,
I think.
guys, I have to take my normal pills like every 30 minutes, so I'm
that's
just
all
going
good.
to take my second batch now.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I didn't know Dream made music. I might go listen
No,
to
he-
it.
But
you should
I
not
know
do
a
that.
really
Back.
I know a really good music remix of it.
Now, hold on, I'll just look it up.
Oh,
Like,
no.
let's compare, for example,
Oh, there's the song
let's
he made
say
called The Mask.
No.
What do you think about that?
We should
The
listen to
thing
the
is,
first remix.
with all of the songs, you're right. It's just fake. Like, this is kind of modern music. Like, he's
most-
not.
yeah.
You can tell he's not the best singer, and you can tell that his voice is all like auto tune and stuff in
Oh, my
most of the
word.
songs.
He's just
It's like
speaking.
just showing
He's just
that
speaking on
That's
top
not
of the
anyone.
beat.
that's just speaking
that's,
with a
that's
song
the
in the
thing with modern
background.
music. They either can't sing or they pretend like they can. They either
But then
can't.
again, there's how bizarre, and that's an amazing song. It's such a banger. Yet that guy can absolutely not sing at all. Like,
I mean,
if you listen to him, he's just talking.
what's
Like,
it?
there is good talking
how bizarre.
songs.
Yeah.
There is
like-
good talking songs, but like, just a lot of them have been really, really processed, like, and very much are made to make money. Like
Aren't
Kanye West and
songs
Drake
make money?
and
Yeah.
like
It's-
Ariana Grande. I don't know who
it's those
people
people
listen
I'm
to these
talking
days.
about.
I don't keep up
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, that's those people I'm talking about who think they can sing. Well, no, but I don't know if they think they can sing or they just know they can't sing and just like screw it, I'll use auto tune because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they can't sing. Either way, they can't sing.
It's like anyone who's got some fame just like tries to make a song
Yeah.
and people like it for some reason. It's like literally you can be a fan of this person because what they normally do is like play Minecraft. But then, like in reality, the fans they make music and they're like the fans just like it when it's actually terrible music. And the reason were a fan because how good they were at playing Minecraft
We're
and
not talking
other
about
stuff.
anyone in particular, by the way.
Yeah, no
No,
one.
This is just
no.
general. This is just in general, obviously.
Yeah, this is just general. Like,
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I do think that there are some good modern artists out there, like Daft Punk. Even though he was a few years ago, he was good. Like a lot of his techno music. That's just I have very mixed
hate
taste
techno
in
music.
music. But like Billie Eilish, she's pretty
Ugh.
good in some of her
No.
songs. I
That's even
personally,
worse.
that's my opinion. Okay, I'm
I mean,
allowed to have
okay,
an opinion.
she can sing. She's a good singer.
Exactly. She
She-
is.
Okay, you're allowed to have your
Like
opinions,
Adele.
but only the right opinions.
Right. So what's the right opinion?
Billie Eilish is bad.
I mean,
She's a good.
I'll-
She's a good
yeah,
singer,
I'll
and
give her that. But her
this-
music,
and
her
her
songwriting.
brother
Does
is
she
an
even write her
okay
own songs?
composer.
she's a good singer, but she's wasted her talent.
Does she even write her own songs?
She writes them in collaboration with her cousin.
Was it her
I
cousin or
forgot
her
his name.
Brother?
Phineas.
Or was
Phineas.
it her dad?
I think it's his brother or cousin or something,
I'm
and
pretty sure it
they
was her
compose
brother.
together.
Right.
But they're pretty good. If I'm honest, like Bad Guy, that was a big phenomenon, and it wasn't my personal favorite. But like No Time to Die, for the new James Bond film, that's a good song.
Probably my
It's a
favorite one
banger.
of hers is Ocean Eyes, and it's definitely
Yeah.
no, it's average, but it's the one.
A lot of acoustic songs, modern day are okay.
There's a difference
but
between acoustic and just not trying. Because you can have like a nice like minimalist sort of sound with like a guitar and maybe a bass and a bit of drums in the chorus,
I mean, Sam,
maybe.
that's one way to put
And
it.
you
but-
can just have a guy, or you could just have a guy playing just like with the most basic chords, just like barely even strumming on the guitar. That's just wasting that's a waste of the song. You know, we'd just be mumbling the lyrics like it's crap. That's not acoustic. That's crap.
We should
and
always try and make a song just to prove that anyone can make music.
Yes.
I'm not saying
Look,
I'm not saying I can make music. I'm just saying if you're gonna make music, try.
You can play a piano somewhat.
I can play it, but I can't compose a song. No way.
I might be taking music next year, so I potentially.
I composed a song in Year 9 music, but it was crap.
That's a nice way to put it to your Year 9 self.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was trash. I'm sure anyone who listened to it would agree, but I have no idea how to access it now.
Listens to it.
Like comparatively, let's just do an example. Like Bohemian Rhapsody from 1976. That song's almost.
It was 1979.
It's 45. No, it's 1976 as far as I'm aware. Queen is quite early, but it will. But it's 45 years old, and then compare it to Among Us Sussy Barker Trav remix. It's like there is no comparison into which one is clearly better.
No,
the Among Us one, obviously.
You're comparing apples to oranges. Like the Sussy
You were
Barker is a
both
joke.
wrong.
That's a joke.
You were both wrong. Bohemian Rhapsody was released in 1975.
1975.
But it was also released in
closer.
2018 because it's also a film.
True.
Yeah, it is also a film.
But I was closer.
Yeah, you're
a bad
right.
film, but it's still a film.
Is it a bad film? I haven't seen it.
It's unfaithful to the original Queen story, but That's a story for another time.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Maybe on another podcast.
Hey, I got a new topic idea. I'll keep that in mind.
Epic.
But yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
comparatively, modern music is trash compared
Oh
to
my
something
word,
like
yes.
the
It's,
Beatles
it's
or Queen
I
or
don't even know
Pink
how to describe
Floyd.
it. It's like everything that's come out of this decade, and the decade before it, 2010s, 2020s. It's just, ugh. I don't even I can't put it into words. It's just
Even
so bad. I don't get it. It's like, oh, it's like, oh, this is music from when you're young. It's nostalgic. It should be nostalgic for you. No, it's not. I'm ashamed to be born in a time when music is this bad.
yes,
I cannot put
agreed.
I cannot put my hatred for modern music into words. It's just
Like I just can't. I'm
just
just
so
gonna find it
bad.
super hard to imagine like people in 60 years' time in a retirement home listening to "Build a Bitch" by Ariana Grande.
Oh,
Just be like,
that
oh
is
yeah, this
that
is
is
a
such.
banger.
Yeah, listening to fucking what was that? Oh, it would be like dancing to like I don't know, like WAP or whatever. Like I don't
Blinding
like
lights.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
it's just it annoys me so much. It's just, like they don't even modern songwriters don't even try. They're just like ugh. And rappers annoy me so much. They can't sing.
And there's too many of them.
Yeah, oh my word, yes. And the lyrics are it's like they just copy and
Questionable.
paste each other's songs. It's so ridiculous. I don't understand how people are like, oh yeah, this guy's a great songwriter. Like this song really spoke to me. This had me in tears. I'm like, shut up. They just copy each other's songs. That's all they do. Ugh.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Well, I think we
think-
should move on.
Yep, we're right on time.
Me next.
Yes. Oh, where's Caleb gone?
Check one of the chats.
I
He
will
had
do
to
that.
go for some reason. Rip. So my topic was about the downfall of Star Wars.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Woo.
basically, here's my interpretation of the way Star Wars has gone. It had the original trilogy.
Which is
It
great.
had, which is good. It had the prequel
Amazing.
trilogy, which the prequel trilogy had a bit of hype at first. And everyone was like, "This is bad," and it's had a really big resurgence in recent years.
Yeah.
It's
I think-
aged like a fine wine. It
No,
turned into grape juice. People liked it. Then it turned into sour grapes. Nobody liked it. Then they turned it into
aged
wine,
like
and it
a
was good.
slightly. It aged like a slightly dodgy wine, but then it got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Disney decided, big company, we can't have that in my world, so they decided to do what they do best and buy out Lucasfilm. So then they released the sequel trilogy along with Rogue One and Solo. Now, when it comes to those 5 films, they had Episode 7, and a lot of people will tell you, a lot of people who dislike the sequel trilogy will tell you that The Force Awakens was like a really good start. It had a lot of potential, and it could have gone somewhere.
Yes.
Force
Very,
Awakens
very
was
much
bad,
so.
but we'll circle back to that.
Yeah. And then they released Rogue One, and I think that Rogue
One's
One
great.
actually, Rogue One I think is the best one that they've
The
released so far.
standalone movies are
100%.
fantastic.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Rogue One and Solo are both fantastic.
Solo's slightly worse, but it's
No, I
it's
think
not
Solo's
terrible.
better. Solo's not as good, if not better. In my
Okay, and then they released the infamous Episode 8 by Roundhead Johnson.
Roundhead.
Although
You're not wrong. You're right. You're right.
and pretty much no one liked that because you've got the infamous bomber scene, you've got the betrayal of Luke. Actually, I would like to point out the fact that Rian Johnson's not a bad director.
Wait, what was
He-
wrong with the bomber
Knives
scene?
Out.
Knives Out is a fantastic film. He just needs time to write, and he didn't have that kind of time.
Wait, Reuben, when you're talking about the bomber scene, are you talking about the opening scene?
Yeah.
Where
There were
all the
so many
bombs
videos going, how are these bombs working? And I know how the bombs are working. There's gravity outside that far outside of the planet. Planets have
And also
I
surprisingly-
know, but it's not
magnetism or
falling
something.
towards
it's not
the planet.
magnets. They're
They're
not
not
falling
falling-
towards the planet. They're being propelled out of the bomber. And because
The
of the way
gravity-
momentum works in space, they just fly out. They're just being shot out.
the gravity is still strong enough from that area of the planet
there's
to
no
drop
way.
bombs. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
there
Well,
planets-
if you
there's
watch
a
the
lot of
scene,
scientific
they were ages
evidence.
away from the planet. There's
No,
no
they
way.
weren't. They
There's
were
no
like
way we
right
still-
outside its orbit. They were right in its orbit.
I can refute you
Are
to
you
some
sure?
videos, but
Planets
yes,
have a
they
very
are.
large
It is
sphere
true.
of influence. You
Alright,
would be
okay.
surprised. Anyway,
let's not get bogged
yes.
down with the
Like
bombers.
Luke milking a
my personal
decal or
theory,
something.
What are you talking about? That was the best scene in the movie.
the bomber scene.
No, the green milk scene.
Green milk scene.
Okay, I personally think that this is what they should have said with the bombers, is that they didn't want to use Y-wings because the Y-wings are too important, but they had these air-to-ground bombers, which they look like. They look like air-to-ground bombers. So they would have. So they're like, we can't risk getting rid of our Y-wings, so we use these air-to-ground bombers, and it would have made much more sense than saying, oh, we're going to have these new advanced bombers that are destroyed. That 3 of them are destroyed by one TIE fighter. I can't speak.
Yes, and why do they have to make the
They-
bombers so freaking slow? Like,
Yes.
there's no point. It's just to create tension. But
Rose.
it's just stupid.
Rose.
Oh man.
Canto bite.
Oh.
Also, another character that was super wasted was Finn. Like, you ask,
Oh yeah.
like, most
Finn is the
Star Wars
best
critics, and they
character
will
of the
say
sequel
Finn
trilogy.
should have been the main character. He should have
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
He should have been sensitive to the
Agreed.
Force.
But
Like,
I mean, if
Well, I've got to go cook some dinner, so I'll just quickly say opinions on the sequel trilogy.
Alright.
Force Awakens, good start. Rogue One, probably my favorite out of all the sequels. It's good war movie. Rise of Shitwalker.
No.
The Last Jedi.
No. I will not have that.
Trash. Rise of Skywalker is just so bad. So many problems. So many plot
No, I will not have this.
contrivances.
Rise of
It's so
Skywalker
bad.
is the best of the sequels.
Solo
Not counting the
is
standalones.
that is a very controversial opinion.
I know, and I'm
Sam.
willing to defend it.
Anyway, I'll listen to this later. But then the Solo is average. It is fine. Mandalorian, one of the greatest pieces of Star Wars media. Visions, the anime that's coming out, looks decent. That's my opinion. Goodbye.
Oh.
Okay, now I need to
Okay.
ask you, why do you think Episode 9 is that good?
Because so the problem I had, so I said before, The Force Awakens was a bad movie and I didn't like it. I'll tell you why. Because they ruined all the characters from the original trilogy. Right?
I can agree with that with Han Solo. Yeah.
Yes, with Han Solo at least, and in The Last Jedi with Luke.
Yeah.
So in Rise of Skywalker, they actually gave Han Solo a proper goodbye from the series,
Yes.
right? They fixed his character because in Force Awakens, his whole arc in the original trilogy was that he went from this selfish smuggler to a freedom fighter in the Alliance, right? A freedom fighter, if you will. I don't know if that's the correct term, but it's the one I'm going with.
Yeah.
And then in Episode 7, he's just a selfish, divorced smuggler again.
Yes.
So
True.
So they just brought him back to where he started, which means his whole arc which was a good arc, by the way, in the original trilogy, it was just thrown out. And then, so they actually gave him a good end. And then he just died. And in Episode 7, they just killed him off. But then in Episode 9, they actually gave him a proper goodbye from the series, which I think really made his character.
But he's not a Force user, and he just appears to Kylo. I know it's supposed to be in Kylo's
It's a dream.
imagination.
It's a dream sequence. He's
I
not a
know,
Force
but
ghost.
it just seems really forced.
I know,
Like-
but it was better than where they left him in Episode 7.
Yeah, and now what's his name? Harrison Ford is even better off than now because how much money they paid him to be in it.
How much did they pay him?
I don't know, because he didn't want to be in Episode 7, and they paid him so
No, I
much
know.
to get him in Episode 7, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing it again." And then he was
Yeah,
in
I know.
Episode 9.
Yeah, I remember actually watching that for the first time. I was thinking, oh, like he must have been really acting really well in that, because I knew because of the context, I knew he didn't want to be there, but he still gave a good performance for his cameo.
Why was it that Harrison Ford didn't want to be in Star Wars anymore? What was that?
He wanted his character to die in Return of the Jedi because he didn't like George Lucas and his dialogue. I think I don't know, but yeah, that's neither here nor there, is it? So
No.
okay, so that's Han Solo. They fixed him in Rise of Skywalker. Then we get
Yes.
to Luke,
Yes.
who just in Episode 8, they just made him a grumpy old hermit who drinks green milk on a weird planet,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
then, and people mock the fan service in Rise of Skywalker, and some of it is a bit unnecessary. But I think, for one thing, the scene where he lifts the ghost, is it a real X-wing or a ghost X-wing? Like with the Force, like Yoda did in Episode 5, right?
It's a real X-wing.
It was real. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because Ray used it.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. And that's I think like people just dismiss it and say, oh, it's just useless fan service. But I think it
No.
was a really good
Wait.
arc.
Stop for a sec. Move Caleb
Yeah.
into the call because he's back.
Oh, is he back?
Yes.
Alright, I'll see if I can move him. Move to... Here we go, he's back.
Welcome back, Caleb.
I am back.
Oh, fantastic.
That you are.
We're just talking about Star Wars sequels. I'm defending Rise of Skywalker. So it's definitely something. So how long have we been talking about
What
this?
is the number? Because I generally don't know all the names.
Okay,
Because they're
so...
all similar.
Alright, so 7 is The Force Awakens, 8 is
Yes.
The Last Jedi, and 9 is Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. It was a good movie. Like, they kind of undid.
It would be good if it was standalone.
Yeah.
But like one of the things that for some reason the Star Wars can't seem to get their head past is the planet killers. Now, in the original trilogy, it was fine because you had the original Death Star and it showed their power, and then you saw them doing it again. Now, it never got to full power again, and the fact that they were building it again was the intensity. It's the fact they doing it again. We need to stop them before they get to that.
Are you talking about the second Death Star?
Second Death Star, yep, sorry.
Yes.
And then in the prequel trilogy, it was hinted at in Episode 2 that they had already begun plans on it.
Yes.
Oh, because you can see the plans in it in Episode
Yes.
2, which I think is fantastic. So it's kind of like the
Was
Death
it-
Star is like the thing that drives the plot from Episode 2 to Episode 6. Episode 7, they're like, how do we do intensity? Rather than being, well, I think they could have just done a race to Skywalker. That would have been fine. But rather than that, no, we need to have a planet killer that's bigger that can now take out an entire system of planets.
Yeah, Starkiller Base, yeah.
And then
they didn't even make it look. They made it look exactly the same. For some reason, I thought they. Well, it was kind of different, but not really.
And okay, I'll get to something else in a minute. But then for Episode 9, they're like, now what if we strapped planet killers to Star Destroyers, and you had a fleet of planet killers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're reusing the same idea again and again, but
Yes.
okay. So probably one of the things that I don't like visually about Episode 9 is the planet destruction. So one of the best visual effects, I think, I can't speak. One of the best visual effects in the sequel series is Starkiller Base being destroyed. Like, that visual effect.
I can't remember that
really,
scene. I'll have
like
to rewatch
it turns into a star. It ignites so much that the energy turns it into a star.
I think I do. Do I remember that? I can't. I'll have to rewatch
And Starkiller Base destroying the other planets. That is very interesting visually.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with Rogue One, where they changed the Death
Yeah.
Star's destruction, primarily because it wasn't at full power, but that's a bit of a
Yeah,
nuance.
where
But
they...
then, Episode 9, they changed that nice visual to just blowing up some piece of paper mache, and it looks like something from the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think visual effects don't make a movie good.
I know, but it's just a small little gripe.
Yeah, I know it's a little niggle, but
then again, you think about the visual effects in A New Hope, and that
but that's for the time. It looks fine in it looks fine
It
with
was
the fact that the whole
actually
film has
good.
effects.
Like, actually, the effects weren't bad at all. They were actually like quite good.
And I'd like to point
Then
out that
there's
because the whole film has those effects, you get used to it, and it doesn't look terrible by the end of the film. It looks normal.
but like when
But
the
when you
planet gets
mix
blown up,
blowing up a piece of paper mache with with two massive CGI armies with the fleet of Star Destroyers and the new Rebel fleet, it just looks terrible.
the worst animation in the original trilogy has to probably be the bit where they have that monster where it's like stomping around in episode 6, I think it is. There's like a monster, and it's just that's probably the worst. Like, it's the
Which one?
worst visual
I mean
effect
the
they've
ransom
done.
pit in Jabba's
Yeah,
palace.
yeah,
That's not
that's it.
terrible. I mean, it's the 80s, so like you can't really
Yeah.
blame it too much. But
But like generally, like in A New Hope, when they blow up that planet with the Death Star, that actually
yeah, it
like
looks
those
good.
visual effects are
Yeah.
quite good. Like,
I agree.
actually, but
Yeah,
then
they were really
again,
good effects for their time,
Yes.
as
it's
everyone
when you
says.
try and change, like you can just get that image of the planet blowing up that way and bring it into the new age, but instead they try to change it, and it kind of looks
Yeah.
bad.
Mm.
They tried to start off a new base when you can take something that's good and make it better.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Coming back to Rise of Skywalker, well, there's a couple more things I need to say about it. There's one, the original trilogy character that they brought back, Lando. They actually made him a good character.
He was
Which-
so good in the original trilogy, though.
That's true. And
He-
and it was good that they kept
Yeah.
him good. In
Yeah.
the
Okay. So you're not
sequels.
saying
I'm not saying
turned
he
him
was
bad.
bad in the original trilogy. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he was good in the original trilogy, and they kept him good in the sequels, which was something the previous two movies couldn't do for some reason.
Yes.
And also, a lot of people, well, most people who think the movie's bad, bring up the fact that they brought Palpatine. They brought back Palpatine because obviously they had no other plans for the movie. But the thing, when they made Rey Palpatine's granddaughter, one, it solves the Mary Sue problem.
Yes, it does. That's the one only that is the only benefit to bringing back Palpatine.
Yes,
Is that it
because
solves the Mary Sue
because
problem.
as we know, Palpatine is the most powerful Force being
And to be
in
Yeah.
the Star Wars universe.
the only criticism of the Rise of Skywalker that I disagree with is the fact. But then, everything else to do with bringing Palpatine back is terrible because it ruins Anakin's what's the word?
Yeah, I know that's the one that like people like Darth Vader
I
died
can't
for nothing, you know.
He's no longer he can't be the chosen one because he doesn't bring balance to the Force if Palpatine's still alive. Snoke was actually going to be could have been an interesting character.
Yes.
Like a lot,
Yeah,
like there were
I
theories.
I blame
Darth
this on Ryan
Plagueis?
Johnson because
Yeah,
he
that
was the
was
one
for
who
me.
made
Darth Plagueis, like giving Darth Plagueis, like the tale of Darth Plagueis, doing something like that, where you could go into either Darth Plagueis was Snoke or Darth Plagueis was still out there somewhere, and Snoke was just one of the many people. You could set up for another trilogy, and basically. You could set up for another trilogy. Plus, you could have had another standalone movie which went back in time and followed Darth Plagueis' story. Like, I just feel that there was a lot more in terms that they could have done if they did add Darth Plagueis into it somehow, as opposed to bringing Palpatine back, because
Mm.
Disney's bringing
Yeah.
people back who fall down seemingly endless holes.
Yeah, they have a pattern with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be honest, I think they should have just scrapped the whole their sequel trilogy idea, and just stuck with the original EU expanded universe, like with Mara Jade Skywalker, Ben Skywalker, Anakin Solo. I think that's his name. I
Yeah.
think I don't know much about it, but Yeah,
Well,
it's an actual good series, but then they're like, what if no?
yeah. What if we didn't? Yeah. Overall, I'm not saying Rise of Skywalker is a fantastic movie. I don't think it's an average movie, but it is the best of the sequels. I will say it's the least worst. And one final.
Basically, this argument is between of that trilogy is basically just between number 7 and number 9. Like number 8, we can all agree is bad, right?
Yes. No one likes
Y-
Last
No.
Jedi.
Well, I mean, those
Some
who
people
do
like
are
it.
like those who do are like, oh, Empire was bad on release, and only people that started only liking it later, and it's like, really?
I don't think that's true. I mean, I wasn't
Mm.
there, but I don't believe it. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, we're running a bit late here, so I'll just give a closing remark. Mandalorian was a good series up until the ending because it was really anticlimactic. The ending of the second
Mm,
season, in my opinion.
I don't think it was that bad. I think Disney also tends to not be able to use CGI properly. Cough cough Tarkin, cough cough Leia, cough
It
cough
wasn't
Luke.
terrible.
It's not terrible, but you can
You can
you
notice
can
it.
find videos on YouTube where they're like Disney versus us, and their non-expert level CGI is a lot better than whatever Disney's trying to do.
Yeah. I guess you're partially right in
Like
that. in that
they're not
respect.
doing it live. It's not like it's a live show. It's edited.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I think that just about wraps up that topic.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
Caleb, what is your topic? Our final one.
Okay. My topic is communism, and
Ooh,
why doesn't communism work specifically?
because it's a silly premise economically speaking.
If you think about it, like on paper, it's a really, really good thing.
Okay,
Like if you think
okay.
about
Tread
it,
carefully. Tread carefully here.
Yes.
like if you think about it, on paper, communism is actually really good. But the only reason it realistically doesn't work is because of the human's desire to have more than other people, to come out on top, to be superior.
Incentive.
Yes. All animals are equal,
Because
but some are more equal than others.
Yes.
And in a way, that's kind of why fascism in like the World War II era worked better, because the superiority was expressed, but it kind of had the same base as communism, where everyone was given things.
I don't know where you're going with this,
Yeah, are
Caleb.
you gonna start defending Hitler?
No, but Hitler was better than Stalin, okay? As in communism,
Um,
Hitler didn't kill his own people. Let's look at it that way.
oh, true.
The problem why fascism doesn't work is it's got too much of the war side of we need to be better, and eventually, like, people who boast and people who show off, no one actually likes them.
I mean, like, obviously, like, I think we can all agree that communism started with a good idea, like at least good intentions. Like everyone gets equal thing. Everyone gets an equal amount of
Yeah.
wealth. Sharing is caring. You know, it's basically what it is. Communism is
Like,
sharing is caring.
yeah, like Karl Marx. Like,
Or
if you think
socialism.
about it,
I know people
he's
say, "Oh,
not.
socialism and communism aren't the same thing." I mean,
They're basically the same thing. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
communism is more authoritarian, and socialism is more libertarian. But
but
at
like
their root, they
people,
both it's
I
like
feel like
share the
people look
wealth.
at Karl Marx as a bad guy, but literally,
But
but he just like if you think about it, they're looking at that because he wrote like the communist, like because he invented communism. But then again, it's not a bad concept in
But
theory. It doesn't
I mean,
work in
yeah,
reality.
it's a nice theory, but
Yeah,
it never works. Like people say, oh, real communism has never been tried.
I mean, it
It's like,
has been tried.
yes, it's never worked.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
like when someone tells you communism is great, but that China, Russia, Germany, Cuba, all of these countries, they all just did it wrong. I'll pull up a list. I have a list. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find it.
Venezuela.
Yeah,
No.
Venezuela. They all just did it wrong.
Is
Hmm.
Venezuela? No, Venezuela's just dictatorship, I think.
No, it's
Isn't it?
socialist.
It's
Or
socialism.
military. Socialism. Yeah, Venezuela's
Which
currency
is
is
like
out
a
the door.
reskinned fascism.
Reskinned. I mean, yeah, that's one way to put it.
No, reskin's
Fascism
communism.
kind of evolved from communism with the basis,
Fascism is
but
basically an
then
elite version of
gay.
communism.
Yeah, fascism basically gave people, because communism doesn't work because people want to be better than other people. And fascism is like, hey, we're all of the same nation, we're all of the same nationality. Let's be better than every other nationality. And it's like, yeah, but then again, like, that's not stable. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
the fascist and communist governments just in general don't work. They don't work in different ways, but it's because fascism, I feel, kind of goes from communism of people don't work in communism because they need the field of speed superiority. But then fascism tries to fix that in the wrong way by saying, hey, we're all German, hey, we're all Russian, we're all, and tries to fix it. But
Mm.
in terms of like, that's just not the right way to fix it. It's too unstable in general. Just because fascism, they actually act on this stuff. Like if they hate certain races, then they actually act on it.
Tread carefully here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't.
Fascism just didn't tried to fix communism, but it didn't work.
So, okay,
No.
now, if you ask a college student, on the other hand, they will disagree with us. But I think, like, if you look at the numbers, capitalism is still the best system.
Yeah, the freer the market, the freer the people.
Yes,
Yes, it's like
because
capitalism, bread waits for
Yeah.
people. Communism, people wait for bread. It's like, why would you
yeah,
want to wait for bread when
Yeah.
bread wait for you?
Yeah, I know, right? And I think the reason socialism, I'll say socialism because communism's a bit more extreme end of socialism. I'll say socialism, okay? So the reason I think socialism is very enticing to people our age, maybe slightly older, is because of college debt, university student loans.
with Mr. Sanders saying,
Mr. Sanders, yes,
Mr. Sanders
no,
saying, I
yeah,
will pay for your college debt
yes,
if you vote for me, and then they don't do it, and everyone acts
yeah.
shocked.
Well, that's what Joe Biden did in America. He's like, "Oh, I'll cancel a portion of everyone's college debt," and that's what got a lot of young people
I want to
voting for him.
quickly go on. I want to quickly go on a bit of a tangent here.
Please do.
Biden's entire promises he made before elections were terrible. Like his opinions on packing the court. You'll know my opinion on it when I get voted in, and it's like,
Yeah, it's like no, we're supposed to know what your opinions are, so we know if we want to vote for you or not.
You have to admit, Trump in the first election did look kind of stupid. Like his promise was, we need to build a wall. It's
yes,
like,
That
I
was,
mean,
I mean,
on
he's right, but like, do you think just like putting up like drywall? It's like we need to build a wall, or do you mean like the walls of Jericho or something, or like
and
from
recent
Attack on
study.
Titan?
No, Adam ruins everything. What?
What?
Okay, I'm so
What?
confused. So he basically says a recent study showed that 25 to 40% of illegal immigrants come through by plane, and then Stephen Crowder responds and is like, "Do you hear that? 60%, 60 to 75% of legal immigrants cross the border on foot."
Yeah, when you cite a minority statistic, that doesn't really
Yes,
help.
it makes it's like 25 to 40%. It makes it sound like it's such a big statistic, but then it's
Yeah,
like
that's not that. Well,
60%,
I mean, it's a
75.
I mean it's a small it's a noticeable statistic, but it's still in the minority.
Yes.
It's like I don't even take statistics, and yet I know that. I take
Speaking of
calculus.
statistics, our statistics class is not being that good at the moment.
Why not?
It's just like a year 9 could do what we're doing.
Oh
It's
I remember
and
year
actually, no,
9
a primary school
Yes.
student could do this. It's like, why are we doing this? I would rather have taken calculus at this point.
You should have taken calculus.
I
It's
know, I
so
should
good,
have.
eh,
I would have
Caleb?
been good at it.
Yes, calculus is good. It's challenging, but it's good.
Yes, we've gone from communism to calculus.
I mean, they both start with C, so at least we're somewhere in the range.
And they both have a U in them somewhere.
Yes.
I'll allow it. Yes, calculus
Okay.
is good. You should have taken it, Reuben.
I should have, but I didn't. And I'm stuck with stats.
Yeah,
Ah.
Surely just switch right before.
Yeah.
Before
Henny showed me what you were
exams.
doing in statistics, and it's just addition. You just
It is. It's
you're
just
adding stuff
addition.
up.
Like the original statistics assessments were actually difficult. These ones are primary school maths.
Oh my gosh.
Primary school maths.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah, what you have to do for 2 credits versus what I have to do for 2 credits in calculus. Like, it's like why? It
Yes.
just annoys me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I could have been getting straight excellences in statistics, but I'm sitting at merit level in calculus.
What? I'm not getting excellence.
Not in calculus. In English and media studies, I'm doing fine. And yeah, let's not talk about our school results, shall we? Because then we're just going to get really competitive.
Names achieved. Not achieved.
The names are.
He just gets double excellence in outer aid.
Oh yeah, well outdoor it's just if you're athletic, then you'll do really well on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it depends. If you do the thing basically if you have a setup before the assessment, like if they pick rock climbing, if you've already done rock climbing before, then you're basically like chilling.
mountain
Same as
biking.
surfing. Yeah, if they
Oh,
did
yes.
mountain biking.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also, Caleb, I learned there's like a small mountain bike track, like a kilometer from where I live. It's like in the
Yes,
bush.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
have you
yeah.
been there?
There's a ton of them up by the area where they are up the hill in that area.
Like in
Yeah.
the middle of Millwater, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty nice, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like that jump and it sends you so far down the hill. Well,
Yeah.
this has been a lot of a tangent.
Yeah. We're gone
Yes.
from communism to now mountain biking. What's our time? What are
This
we?
is how conversations work, but
Yep. Oh, we're bang on an hour. So do we want to finish here or?
oh yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
that's probably best.
We're out of topics.
All right. Yeah. Since Toby didn't
This has
join
been
for
a
some
good
reason.
episode.
Oh well. I'll forgive you, Toby, if you're listening. All right. Yeah, it's been a good episode, lads. And Lachlan,
Yep.
Lachlan, you brought a good topic. We all brought good topics, including myself, I believe.
For once, I didn't bring a gaming topic.
Yeah. Good on you. And you brought a Star Wars topic, which is probably
Yes,
For once, my
which was good,
topic
though.
actually
I
sparked a
don't
good
think of topics
conversation.
until like a minute before the podcast starts.
Well, I
Hey,
think the
same.
best topics are ones you've been thinking about for ages, in my
True.
opinion.
Yeah.
But yes, so thank you for watching, if you still are, or listening, if you still are.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're halfway through our first season of What the Fridge. It's episode 6. We're splitting them up into 12 episodes per season. So, how long has it been since we launched this podcast? A few months?
Maybe.
Maybe
I'll have to
like
check.
2 months,
2 months?
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Caleb took a look through our YouTube statistics. Only 35% of our viewers aren't subscribed.
That's actually a pretty good subscriber.
Yeah, that is
ratio,
actually a pretty good rate.
Yes, but
Oh,
And
well-
I think it's only like 26% for watch time.
what do you mean?
But, like, as in, like, the amount of time watched, people who most watch the time, like, 26% weren't subscribed. The people who, like, watch the most time.
my brother suggested that we do a podcast live, but I don't know if we have enough viewers for that yet.
No, I can go live, I think, on the YouTube channel. I don't know though. Anyway, so if you're watching on YouTube and you see a red button down there, go ahead and click it. It's free and you can always change your mind.
Sounding like a true YouTuber.
Yeah.
And
Now-
this is glitch
now, a
where
lot of
YouTube sometimes
a lot of people don't know this, but YouTube sometimes glitches and unsubscribes you.
Now, a lot of people find my videos really annoying, so if you don't find my videos
Ludwig literally admitted that was fake.
yes.
He's like, it's just like to check. Because sometimes people miss the button and stuff, and also it makes you more likely to subscribe.
We all know YouTube doesn't glitch and unsubscribe you. That's spastic. Why would it do
We should
that?
talk about that in the next episode of What the Fridge.
We talk about Minecraft YouTube. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Alright.
About YouTube glitches.
Yep. Also, follow Caleb on Twitch to catch us live on Twitch. It's just on Caleb's channel. We should probably set up our own What the Fridge Twitch channel as well.
That's a good idea.
We get subscriptions, and we'll launch an OnlyFans.
We have to do a face reveal first.
Yeah, true. That's true. We could get people to pay
You
for a
could do
face
it.
reveal.
You could do it on the OnlyFans.
Or actually, no, we can't do an OnlyFans because they're banning explicit content.
Oh yeah, true.
That's true. Hmm.
Okay.
What
I'm
could we-
actually glad
Okay.
that they did that.
What
to
could
be
we
honest.
branch out into? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
Patreon.
that's all to count. Yeah, Patreon. We've got to set up a Patreon account anyway. That'll be it for our episode. We'll catch you soon. Has lockdown been extended yet?
It's till
Yeah,
next
it's
Tuesday.
by a week.
Oh, we've got
At
another
least.
week.
That's at least.
At least.
Unfortunately.
It's probably
Yep.
going to be more. But
The rest
Yeah.
of New Zealand.
So this is season 5. This is our lockdown season 5. Let's go.
season 5 of what?
Lockdown, because we had we're referring to them like a TV show because
right.
we've got Jacinda Ardern's like 1 p.m. things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like a show. So this
Yeah.
is season 5. It's the longest season since season 2, at least.
Yes. Alright, we've got to finish this episode. Alright.
Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye. For